What's going on, everybody? I'm Howard Bender from RTSports.com. Hope everybody had a happy and a safe Thanksgiving. Didn't go too crazy on Black Friday, and you're ready for NFL Week 13 Sunday's games. Now, with 4 games already in the books, a lot of marquee talent off the board already, and we're digging deep, looking for the best value picks that we possibly can. It ain't pretty out there. I'm not going to lie to you, but we still got some work to do here. We'll start at the quarterback position. Tyler Shugg, quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Now, I will throw the caveat on here that if Chris Olave is out, then I'm kind of out on this play. He does have some other weaponry that he can use, but if Olave is not on the field here against Miami, then I'm much more lukewarm on this play. If he does get in there, well, then I do like this a lot. Miami doesn't give up a lot of yards through the air, but what they do is allow a lot of efficiency to opposing quarterbacks. A 109.5 quarterback rating against the Miami Dolphins. It means they're hyper efficient. They're getting into the end zone. Might not be a lot of yards, but getting into the end zone is important here. So give a look at Tyler Shugg if Chris Olave does play. At the running back position, we'll look at Devin Neal, also from the New Orleans Saints. The Miami Dolphins, they give up the 4th most rushing yards per game. Devin Neal actually fits Kellen Moore's scheme a lot better than Alvin Kamara ever did. He can utilize him as a power runner between the tackles to help set up the play action downfield, which is exactly what Kellen Moore really wants to do. So Miami being a soft run defense, Devin Neal at a nice little value price there. You can probably get him in. He's going to be pretty chalky, pretty popular. So cash game viable for sure. Also at running back, I like Michael Carter for the Arizona Cardinals. If Bam Knight is out, I love Michael Carter. If Bam Knight's playing, I like Michael Carter. Going up against Tampa Bay, the secret to beating Tampa Bay on the ground is the outside zone scheme. You don't want to run it up the gut against Vita Vea in the middle there, which is what Bam Knight's going to end up doing. Michael Carter, he actually ends up as the pass catching back, works to the outside. He's going to be on the field for the 2-minute drill. So especially in a PPR format, Michael Carter is somebody to take a look at if you're desperate at running back. Wide receiver, we've got a couple of different guys. Chimere Dike from the Tennessee Titans. He is the number 1 guy going up against Jacksonville. They rank 18th in DVOA, but they are allowing almost 80 yards per game to the number 1 receiver. And I'll tell you what, if you play Dike in DFS, he does do all the punt returning and the kick returning, and we've seen him run those back. 2 out of the last 3 games, he's run it back for a touchdown. So some bonus points there. But Chimere Dike is doing everything that Alec Ayamanor was supposed to be doing, but he's not. So Dike is a guy who I definitely like. I also like John Mechie from the New York Jets. He's really turned into a quality slot receiver. He's seen about 6 or 7 targets per game. And going up against Atlanta, they just put Billy Bowman, their usual slot corner, on IR. They've had to utilize D. Alfred, who used to be a great corner, but the veterans kind of lost a step and slowed down. So take a look at John Mechie, especially in full-point PPR formats, kind of like a Khalil Shakir type of a play. I also like Jaden Higgins, wide receiver from the Houston Texans. Going opposite Nico Collins. You know, the key here is that the Indianapolis Colts have been turning and playing a lot of man coverage ever since they made the trade for Sauce Gardner and then activated Charvarius Ward from IR. Instead of playing a lot of zone, which is what they did. So this is what Lou Anarumo is doing, and Houston's going to be able to counter that. Nico Collins is dominant beyond belief in man coverage, and that's going to force them into floating more safety help over to his way. It's going to leave Jaden Higgins in a lot of one-on-one battles, and this rookie has really turned his season around, so very bullish on him. Now, here's a crazy one, right? Devon Vele from the New Orleans Saints. I don't know why I'm so high on the Saints this week. Kind of weird, I know, but Miami is disappointing as far as a defense goes. But Devon Vele, if Chris Olave is out. How about that one? We'll use Tyler Shugg if Chris Olave is playing, but if Chris Olave is out, we will pivot to Devon Vele as a little bit of a value option here going up against a very soft Miami pass defense. And then finally, at the tight end position, give me all the Colby Parkinson you can possibly give me. Since Tyler Higbee landed on IR, Parkinson has become the number 1 tight end for one of the most prolific passing offenses in the NFL. Now, Parkinson, who's had the most targets, the most snaps of any of the tight ends on the Rams offense right now, is going, and he's got 3 touchdowns in his last 3 games. That's also huge. But even more important, he's going up against Carolina, who ranks dead last in DVOA against the tight end. They're giving up the 10th most fantasy points per game to the tight end. Are we touchdown fishing here? Yes. But isn't that what you do with dart throw tight ends anyway? So there it is. Appreciate you guys tuning in to me here. Obviously, I'll have more updates next week when the weekly bender comes up. It's getting ready, baby. Playoff time is coming up for fantasy football. I'm Howard Bender. I'll see you next time.